Welcome to the most honest review of Sonic Superstars that you will ever find on the internet. So, first thing before I get started here, um, if you hear me cough, it's because I've been mysteriously ill. I've been coughing for over a week now, almost 2 weeks. There's potentially a new virus spreading around, or it could just be the extreme allergies because Texas is a terrible state to live in. Don't move to Texas. You will regret it. Yes, California is better. So, now that that's out of the way, like I said, Sonic Superstars. If you're new to the channel, get some popcorn, some chicken, I don't know, chicken and pasta, get some ramen noodles, or get a bowl of cereal, um, get some pizza, man. I don't know. Get something edible, get some food to eat. Because I'm going in like Ben 10. So, let's get started. As you can see here, I sort of have a list of pros, a list of cons, as you can see there. There's probably more that I could add to it, but wow, Team Arzest over here, Arzest and Sonic Team. It's time. So, Sonic Superstars. So, I'm going to start with the pros here. So, what I do like about the game, obviously, first thing I pointed out is that there is the nostalgia factor, right? And to add on to that, just a little background here, a little short background about me and why I'm playing this game. Uh, so, like I said, nostalgia factor, it's going back to the original games that were on the Sega Genesis. And I also like that, the new generation of kids right now, they can sort of get that experience, sort of. They can play it to see what the original games were like. Uh, I'm 1989. Like I said, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up with the original. I don't know if I still have my Sega Genesis, but I grew up with the original games, Sega Genesis. I also played like Acrobat back then on Sega Genesis, NBA Jam, those type of games, popular. So I grew up with the original games: Sonic the Hedgehog 1, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I think there's three I played. It was mostly 1 and 2 that I played for the most part, but Sonic the Hedgehog and then Mario on the original Nintendo. Those are the two games. And there's like this duck hunting, like with a gun, this duck hunting game that was on Nintendo as well. Those are the first games that I really played that I remember. Those are the first major games. Like I wasn't playing Donkey Kong back then. I'm like I'm like right after Atari. I didn't play Atari. So I grew up with the original Nintendo. I grew up with Sega Genesis. So that's why I really wanted to play it, man. I was super excited. When I heard about this game, I think I even did like a reaction video to the trailer. Can't remember, but so I was exhilarated, right, to play this game. It was pretty hyped up. like, man, they're going back to the original formula, right? It was exciting to hear about. So I was ready for it, right? I was ready for it. Those are the games that I grew up playing. Uh, so and then after the original games on Sega Genesis, it was Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2. I still have Sonic Adventure 2 on Sega Dreamcast. I still have a Dreamcast. It's actually my second Dreamcast. Because Dreamcast, they weren't designed that well. They had problems, so I had to get a second one. I still have Sonic Adventure 2 on Sega Dreamcast. And so Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2 on Sega Genesis, and then Sonic Adventure 2. Those are my favorite Sonic games ever. So after that point, um, I have Shadow the Hedgehog on GameCube. I have Sonic Heroes on GameCube. Those are the last Sonic games that I played. So yes, I missed out. I missed out on all the newer Sonic games, and there's a reason I'm pointing this out, and that will be down here as I highlight the boss battles here. You know, I'm highlighting the boss battles for a reason, right there, because so I missed out on all the other Sonic games. I know people say Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, 2007 on Xbox was good, but here's the thing. So yeah, I graduated high school in 2008, and I was starting community college. I went from community college. I went to community college from fall 2008 until fall 2014. Technically, I graduated 2012. After that, I transferred to a four-year university. It's almost like I had to start over, and that's where I was basically studying animation and everything. But a lot of my credits didn't transfer over. So then I went to university from fall 2014 to December 2018. Yes, I went to school for over 10 years. Don't do what I did. Waste of time, waste of money. Didn't get much out of it. The most amazing experience I got out of it was working at Pixar Animation Studios as an intern. So, I made some connections here and there. I was going to a lot of events and things like that. Anyway, that entire generation of PS3, I have a PS3, but PS3 and like the Wii U, I think that's when Xbox 360 came out. So, yeah, PS3, I was late on the games, but I have one. But PS3, the Wii U, missed out on that generation of games because I was too busy in school and college. I wasn't keeping up. You know, didn't have money, so I wasn't keeping up with the games. So all those Sonic games for honestly like over a decade, I did miss out on. Um, and I'm saying that now because later on I'm going to mention these boss battles. So, um, but yeah, that's basically a little background history about me and my experience with the Sonic games, and why I was super excited to play this game. Like I said, I grew with the originals. You know, I'm a '90s kid. Played it when it was super popular. So that's the background story. And overall, you know, let me jump into the pros again. Let's just start on my list here, the pros here, and I'm gonna bring up some videos that I have here and there. So I mentioned the nostalgia, obviously. I just explained all that. I like that. I like that the newer generation they have a chance to sort of experience the game, and I'm saying sort of because this game is nowhere near as good as the originals. Another thing I like are the emerald abilities. So you get 7 emerald abilities in the game. Um, One of them is like a cloning ability. A bunch of clones fly all over the screen. Let me see. Yeah, let me bring up a video. I mostly used it during the boss fights. And the bosses are ridiculous, which is why I'm right now I'm looking for I'm just gonna show you something here. So, but these are all my videos here. Amen boss. Not Cyber Station. Press Factory was one. I think that may have been one. So let me show you something real quick. I don't know. Oh, this is the boss. So usually at the beginning of the so that's the cloning ability, right? It's been useful. Let me find another example here. Right there. So, cloning ability. They're flying all on the screen, all the clones. And then eventually, you know, they'll hit the enemy or whatever, or they'll get attacked. So, that's an example of one of the emerald abilities, you know. And as you progress throughout the game, you can find these hidden golden rings throughout the stages. And once you go inside the golden ring, it'll take you to like a mini level, similar to the original games almost. It'll take you to like an inside special zone where you can like, you swing around almost like a vine, like a rope, going from one blue ball or like ring to the next. And you swing and swing until you can catch one of the emeralds. And that's how you get the emeralds in the game. If you watch the playthrough that I did, you'll see that. So that's how you get the emeralds in the game. Each emerald has a new ability. For example, I was able to do chaos control, chronokinesis, or, you know, slowing down time. That's an ability. There's a fireball ability where you can like blast fireballs like Mario. That's one of the emeralds. Another emerald was you could create a vine that grows up out of the ground, and then you can climb up that vine. It doesn't last long. Another ability was which I thought was cool, was a dash ability. It's almost like a fireball dash. Even though I was kind of hoping in this game I'd be able to double tap the A button or X, whatever you plan on. Double tap the jump button, and then it would do the dash like in Sonic Adventure 2. I was hoping that would be in this game, but it wasn't. But they have like the fireball dash. So anyway, they're emerald abilities. And I'm gonna start right there. There's one more emerald ability that I'll talk about next. I'll talk about that later. I like the new characters. Again, I missed out on the whole generation of games. So you have Fang the Hunter and Trip, the girl Trip, right? So, oh boy, I'll show you Trip. So she's one of the new characters. That's Trip right there. There you go. That's Trip. So, and I like, see, she can climb on walls. I like her abilities. Trip and Tails are two of my favorite characters. Those are my two most favorite to play in the game. And as you can see, as I typed here, you know, yeah, Amy, she's one of the main, she's become one of the main ones now. She's number 4. So that's pretty cool. They added Amy, you know. Honestly, I was disappointed with Amy though, because I can't really use her hammer, you know, whacking people with the hammer. You can't do that. I pressed all the buttons. There was nothing like that. You can double jump with her, which is good. And she spins the hammer, but that's it. Her double jump is like really the only good thing that's unique to her, to be honest. But I was disappointed that couldn't swing the hammer. But it's cool that she's one of the main characters now. And again, I mentioned Trip. Trip can climb up walls better than Knuckles, which is pretty cool. And faster. She can climb faster, and she can climb the walls better than Knuckles. Um, that's what's unique about Trip. And her double jump is really, Trip is honestly probably the best one to play with, and Tails a second, in my opinion. Then there's Fang, the Hunter. He's that Violet character. I'm gonna get to him later, which is the reason why I'm making this video. I'll get to Fang later. No Shadow in the game. Shadow's my favorite character. That's disappointing. But yeah, Tails and Trip, best to play with. Just looking at my list here. I do like that, there are infinite lives. I like that there are infinite lives in the game, considering how challenging they made the game. Not difficult, but challenging. So considering how challenging they made the game, for the newer generation now, obviously it's better that they have infinite lives, like, because games are nowhere near. I don't know. That's a whole nother discussion. It just depends, because this game in particular, there's a reason they have infinite lives. If this were like the original games, like, the coins are what kept you alive, right? You had 0 coins, and you got killed, you got hit, that was game over. But you also had like a lives at the top left corner where it was like you had 3 Sonic symbol lives, and once those 3 are done, I think you had to start over completely from that stage from the beginning, or start the entire video game over. That's how the original games were, for those who don't know. Like, so the infinite lives, that's a new thing. The original games, you had to do the entire game over from what I remember if you lost all those lives. So they removed that. But I think there should be a more challenging mode where it's more like the original game, where you had the lives. I think that would have been interesting if they added that rather than the infinite lives, like an option to do either. Um, Other than that, those are my main pros. Nostalgia factor, new emerald abilities, new characters, new stages. They're pretty cool. Uh, there was some things that were brought back though. Some very familiar stages that I mentioned in my playthrough. But those are my pros. Moving on to the cons here. First thing, I don't like the delay in the movement. Um, I mentioned that in my first playthrough. I don't know at what point. Yeah, I don't know at what point I brought that up. So I'll explain it here. So I keep talking about the delay in the movement in the game, um, as I'm playing through it. What I'm talking about, so for example, this is, or mostly you go right. So let's say when I move right and I hold right as I move it, what I'm talking about is there's like a 2.5 second to 3 second delay. That's how long it takes for it to like speed up to like a jog. It's very slow compared to what I remember in the original games. It's like, so if you're trying to dodge attacks, you're trying to get out of the way, don't expect to move like within 1 second. It's not going to do it because there's delay in the movement, and it sucks. Um, the game does feel slow compared to the originals. The only time that I felt any speed was when there are very specific and unique moments in the game where there would be a vertical line, not even a slanted ramp, but a vertical line. But some of the slanted ramps, but definitely on the vertical line part, which there are very few in the game, um, where the character goes straight down. That's when it was really speeding up like crazy, and then it was bringing back what I remember as a kid in the original games. It was bringing that back to my memory, and I was like, "Oh yeah," I said that in my playthrough. I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is familiar. This is the speed that I've been looking for." It was also on the deep slanted hills. You'll get that speed, but basically after like 2 or 3 seconds of going down, it's like, I think it's like, it's when the character gets faster, but the character moves more to the right of the screen, and then the camera can't sort of keep up. It's that sort of effect right there. Where like, and it's speeding up, and it's like. But that was the only time I really saw the speed. Overall, the game speed doesn't feel like a Sonic game. It's just basic overall around in terms of the speed. Again, other than when you're going down the ramps. Now, like I said, if you download, if any kids out there want to experience the original game, I mean, even when I was in high school at one point, you could download some emulators. It'll take them no memory at all these days, right? Download an emulator for like Sega Genesis or something, and then you can just play the original games, and you'll see what I'm talking about in terms of the speed. So, another thing I don't like, which I can bring up a video. I'm highlighting it here. Knuckles is, his hard stop and landing after he flies. So hold on. Because I first played it. I'm going to show you right now what I'm talking about. Okay. Dude, how is it that me? So I'm... Oh, man. So I'm gliding, but look. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's right. Knuckles climb, too. Knuckles climb. Trying to find a spot where I fly. Is it? Oh! Going through. I came right there. Here's one. Look at that. Right there as well. Well, really, when Knuckles glides right there, and let me frame by frame, he stops. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 frames. And basically, what I don't like is when Knuckles is gliding in, right? Phone here. So when Knuckles is gliding in, he comes to a full stop, and then after those 11 frames, I just counted. After those 11 frames, then he can start moving forward. He should, because Knuckles in Sonic Adventure 2, which I liked, right? When Knuckles comes in like Sonic Adventure 2, he comes in, boom, and he continues going. He doesn't stop like that and then go. Like if you play with, I can't even imagine playing with Knuckles and gliding around during one of these crazy boss battles in this game. I get hit so many times playing with him. So, in fact, I don't know. Other than this, I don't think I really play with Knuckles in a boss battle. Because there weren't enough stages anyway to really because I wanted to play with each character. I only play with Knuckles on Lagoon City from what I remember, and then I tried to cycle back and then play with Sonic again, play with Tails again. So I never got I played with Knuckles, just this one level. 32 minutes. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I don't like. His hard stop and landing when it should be continuous and smooth. So another thing, I actually collected all of the emeralds, and I just noted this actually. So I collected them all here. That's what that's like. No, it doesn't go. If you look at the bottom left down here, I have all 7 emeralds. So eventually I found all 7 emeralds, right? And let me see if I can go to 14. I don't know what this is. Again. So balls, and then I have to find them all over again. Oh, this is different. Oh, this level. See? So let's do it. right here. Now I'm gonna play this. I don't remember what I said, but this you see at the top, that's Sonic, right? It's a symbol as it's supersonic. It's supersonic form. It's a transformation there. Now she can transform into a golden dragon. When I first saw her trip, I was like, "Who is this character?" She transformed into a golden dragon. She destroyed a giant robot in one hit. So here I am trying to use it. Let me see. They're not letting me do it. See? Can I do it now? I can't do it. Yeah. It's disappointing to me. I don't know how to do it. So I'm gonna stop it there. Why can't I transform? I have all 7 emerald abilities. Not only that, but I tried to go back to the original story with the 4 characters, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. And I tried to transform then to see, like, okay, maybe after I play through the whole story, I can go back and maybe I can transform with them. Play with Super Sonic, play with Super Tails, Super Knuckles, Super Amy, see something, right? The transformation there, I don't know how to do it. I've tried. If someone knows how to transform, please let me know in the comments, and I will go back and I'll record a video on it. I never figured out how to transform. So for the rest of the playthrough, and this is so from part 14 I have all the way through this part 18, right? I had, that's like 5 levels. I wasn't able to transform, even though I have all 7 emeralds. So I feel cheated on, I feel like I should be able to transform and I did my best to get all the emeralds. I was super excited about getting all the emeralds because eventually I was like, okay, I want to transform. I want to see what's going on. And it's disappointing because I can never figure it out. Another thing I don't like on my list, the emerald abilities and the delay. What's up with that? Sonic Team, Zest. I don't get this. I don't understand it. Like, it seems like and there were some moments where I was getting stuck because there are moments where there are these rainbow clear looking blocks in the game that'll block your pathway. And then a warning symbol will come up on the bottom right of the screen. It'll say, use your clone ability or use some type of ability. You can use any of them, any attack ability. Because half of the abilities aren't even attacks, right? So, yeah, which is what I'm going to talk about next. That warning symbol, and it'll say use the clone ability. And I use it and it'll destroy the blocks. But then if I get hit afterwards, the ability immediately stops. The ability stops. And then there was like another set of blocks at the bottom. Like, okay, since there's a delay, now I have to waste another ability. And if you waste all your abilities, you're not able to get through. At one point, I was getting stuck and I had to kill myself on some spikes. It's in my playthrough on, I want to say the Golden Capital. I think it was a Golden Capital. Because I remember it in my mind what it looked like. I think it was a Golden Capital. So I had to kill myself just to move on, or just to restart it. So that's the thing. There are situations where the abilities, like for example, the violet colored ability allows you to see like platforms that you can't normally see. Like they're almost like invisible, right? Basically, anything that's invisible, is the all-seeing eye or whatever, the violet color eye, you know, it can detect those invisible platforms that you can jump on. That's another very specific situation. Other than that, it's useless in boss battles. You know what I'm saying? It would be cool if, like, during the boss battles or something, you could use that ability to, reveal like hidden power ups or weapons or something like that. That would be cool, right? And I just thought of that just now. That would be cool. Other than that, the violet color, that's another very specific situation. The vine, the tree vine that goes up, I used it to get to one of the blue coin hidden areas. Like 1 or 2 times, that was it. The vine ability is pretty useless. There's another one. There's like 3 of them that are not attacks. And they're very specific. Like I said, in certain situations, they're useless. Other than that, I don't like the delay in the abilities. It seems like I use it, and that's it for the entire stage. That's it for the zone. Like I can't use the ability again. And so it's like I like the emerald abilities, but I can't use it. And once you use it, it's like if you get hit, it negates the ability stops, and you can't use it anymore. So there should be like a 20 to 30-second delay at the most on the ability, so I can use them again. Like I'm not enjoying it. So now, before I move on to the next one, let me move on to battle mode. And you'll see that I recorded battle mode. It's terrible. It sucks. I'm not playing it online. I knew it even before going in. I was like, I'm not going to play it online. I said that in the video. But after playing it, I'm definitely not playing it online. No one's going to play it. Come on. It's not even exciting. It's not even fun for kids to play. So the battle mode, in fact, hold on. Because I just finished recording it. Got it right here. This is the battle mode. I'm just going to skip through. I don't know how to get the colors. This is what this robot's for. You can customize a robot. But in order to customize different parts, you have to go to a shop. And look at the shop here. I went with the Metal Knuckles head. Right, that's a cool one. And I like the wolf head too. It costs 25 coins. To get those coins, you have to get those inside of the it's sort of a throwback to the original game. But you go into like the blue area zone where everything's twisting and turning, and then you're in the spin ball form, and then you have to make your way around until you get to the coins, basically, right? It's like an obstacle. You go through obstacles, and then you get the coin. And I think it only counts as 1 coin. I don't know. I haven't been counting them or anything. But I have like 92 coins here, and then by the time I was finished, like Knuckles' head is 25 here, right? Move on. I'm not gonna purchase the body. That's 20. I didn't purchase one because it's too much. The arms here, I paid 15 coins. The legs, yeah, I got that for 10 over here on the far right. That's what I got. I didn't get any colors. I have that many. So if you look, I went from 92 down to 42 or something like that. That's too expensive. So, and this character is basically what you use for the online mode. This robot you use for the online mode or the battle mode. That's all. Let's see. That's what online. It's not a race. There's no racing. The stars. Like the original games was straight up racing. I remember playing 2 players. I was back when my sisters used to play Sega Genesis with me and play Sonic. And the original game was like split screen, split in the middle, player 1 on top, player 2 on the bottom. And it was just a race. It was amazing. It was way better than this crap. I don't know. This here, you just grabbing the coins. I didn't really care. Round 2 sort of seemed like a race. Is this a race? See what I'm saying? Like a race, but it was complicated. My character seemed slower than the computers. And I had to wait until they all finished. And then the last part, I don't even know what I was doing here. I guess grabbing, I don't know. There was no explanation. First, that's battle mode. I'll be uploading. That's battle mode. And that's where the gold coins in the game that you spend all that time trying to get swinging around on the ropes like freaking Tarzan, you know, George of the Jungle, just swinging around trying to get the coins. That's what it's all for. That's the battle mode. It sucks. Don't care. Next, moving on to the finale. Trip's story. Right? Trip's story. So, and that's, you know, Trip is that new orange character that I mentioned, that I've shown a video of. So basically you go back from the beginning and you play as the character Trip. I think she's the best character. You play as the character Trip through all of the levels, except the levels are different. They actually add there are some extra acts that I saw, some extra levels on some of the stages. The overall layout of each level is different compared to the original 4 characters. It's designed different. So like she can climb up walls, you know, as I showed. She can climb up walls better than Knuckles. And so she can hop between walls or do this and that. And it's very specific to her, each level, which is cool. The stages are designed specifically for her compared to the original character. Here's the thing. The normal characters, like the original base game, is fine, right? I was okay with it. It was a good game. The base game that I played. But once you go to Trip's story, think of this as going from normal mode to extremely challenging mode. I'm putting difficulty in my titles, but I'm going to call it an extremely hard, challenging mode. Trip's story is not the same. It's absurd, it's ridiculous, it's preposterous. I put too repetitive, boring, disappointing. What I'm talking about, too repetitive and boring, disappointing, I'm talking about the boss battles. I don't think the bosses are as unique as the original games or even a lot of the other Sonic games. And then I'm going to get to the finale here. Anyway, like the bosses they're terrible in this game. They are the most difficult, but terrible in the game. It's not even that a lot of them are difficult. It's just like I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that here. But one boss I don't like, obviously, as I just showed, was that freaking hammer. I think that was the second worst boss that I played against. It was go to it. Here. Let me show you. This boss, I think, was the second most difficult that I played. What am I supposed to do to get out of the corner? Maybe the third. This guy here with the freaking hammer. I died so many times. Maybe that's the third most difficult that I played. The most difficult that I played during the first round, right? During the first round is this guy. The big Eggman boss. I struggle with this. You can see this video is an hour and 29 minutes. And I didn't get to him until around 24 minutes. See? Yeah, go watch that. So from 24 minutes to like this hour and 29 points, this hour and 29 minute point or hour and 28 minute point. Go watch that. Whole lot of nonsense. And that was him. What I'm getting to right now, and what everyone's waiting for, this guy. So this character, throughout the game, you'll see a character with a hat. He looks cool. He has he's a violet color appearance. I don't know if he's like a fox. This guy. Let me show you the introduction. This Fang guy, and I was like, this is different. There he is, the secret boss. Yeah, it's the secret boss I was talking about. That guy right there. Look, I want you to look at my time down here on this. I first saw him at 30 minutes and 11 seconds, right? I played up until 2 hours and 53 minutes. This is his final form here. Here's the other thing. Let me show you the BS. This is what I mean by repetitive and boring. Hold on. You see this little, the bluish looking, bluish green, teal looking color, those webs right there? You get stuck in those, like it maybe happens here. I'm gonna see where. Let me see where I died. See that? Check this out. If you get stuck in the web, it's like you're trapped and you have to shake the controller to get out. So right here, it doesn't look like I get stuck. Watch this though. Watch this. This Fang character. This is his attack. And the webs are on my way. I had nowhere to go. I get hit by this freaking, what are those called? Freaking corkscrew, the bottles of wine. Whatever this thing, you get hit. That's boom. It. One hit, you're dead. I'm not even kidding. That's his second form. His first form is this. It's very repetitive. So let me show you something. It's not even difficult. See, I'm saying it's not even difficult. He's not difficult. He's not even difficult. So look at my mark here. I'm at 47 minutes and 23 seconds. Now I'm going to skip through. Yeah. 47 minutes and 23 seconds. And then now I'm at 52:33. So that's approximately 5-6 minutes. That's how long it takes to beat his first form. His first form is very repetitive. Not only that, look at this. You see these beams right here? The violet color beams? You're thinking, oh, you get hit. It surprised me the first time. You get hit. You're thinking that, y'all have 16 rings up there, right? You have 16 rings and you'll be fine. There's so much in here. I don't know if I can find anything, but actually, I think on my first one. Immediately. I think on my first one because it was a surprise. He never got me with his rockets. Check it out, because on my first one, I know that's where I got killed. Boom! Look! 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 Boom! BS, dude. That's a one-hit kill. Come on. See what I'm talking about? And then you have to repeat that 5 to 6 minute, that first portion of the boss battle. You have to repeat it just to get to the second form. The second form was even more. I never beat it. I quit the game. I never beat it. I never beat the second form. Not only that, but as I was looking up some things on video, which I showed on camera, I actually started looking up Reddit on Google. I was looking up some Reddit posts during the middle of my playthrough here. I was looking it up, and other people also complained about this boss and just other bosses in the game in general. I was trying to avoid spoilers. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But they're saying that there's a black dragon after this guy. I didn't beat this guy. So I don't know when I'm going to get back to this game. Because I have some other games to do. I need to get my animation reel out there. Because like I worked on the Expanse game and Telltale series when I was working at Deck 9. I was, like I said, short here, Deck 9. So I need to get the animation reel together, upload that on my new animation channel. So I'm going to have new games, new animations coming, right? So I don't want to waste all my time on this game. I read one post where one guy said he was playing this guy for 6 hours, this boss. I haven't played Dark Souls games, but this is like some Dark Souls, like, it's a Dark Souls Sonic game without the level up factor. This game is absolutely ridiculous. And as I mentioned in the video here, this Fang the Hunter boss, he's not difficult. He's not difficult. It's just he has a bunch of BS rubbish attacks. He has one, and this is the thing. Sonic Team, what was it? I don't even know the company. Sonic Team and RZest. You know, I've never heard of RZest, so I don't know it. Sonic Team and RZest. They have broken the rules of Sonic. You know, the Sonic franchise, the Sonic lore, whatever you want to call it. The rules of Sonic are, as I've explained before in the original games, is you capture the rings, right? The ring is what made Sonic popular. You know, just how like the mushrooms in Mario are popular or whatever. And the coins. So, the rings are basically your health bar in Sonic. If you get to 0 rings, that's when you get the game over. You get the 0 rings and you get hit with 0 rings, that's when you get the game over. When in the original games, as I mentioned, you'd have like, it was a Sonic symbol. Even in Sonic Adventure games, there's a Sonic symbol at the top left corner. I think it's the top left. It was just his face of Sonic, and let's say it was like there's 3 Sonics up there. So when you get 0 rings, when you have 0 rings and you get killed, the three heads will go down to 2, and eventually goes down to 1 and 0. Once you had 0 Sonic lives up there at the top, you have to restart the entire video game mode from the beginning. I remember that. That was what made the game challenging. But it wasn't this ridiculous, stupid type of challenging. Let me go back to him again. So they're breaking the rules of Sonic. Okay. They're breaking the rules of Sonic because, see, here's this boss again. Let's see here. How do I die here? It's gonna be that net. Watch. I'm gonna caught. This stupid web is dumb. No, I didn't get hit there, but it took me a while to figure out his pattern. But see, I stopped because the web was up in front. But what I learned later is that you have to slow down after he finishes, you know. Shooting the webs, you slow down, and then you won't run into those later on. PS, man. See? This entire thing was frustrating. Wow. Look at that. I'm completely frustrated this game. Dumb as hell, dude. Yeah. So, even after learning his pattern, he still somehow manages to hit you with like one-hit attacks. That breaks that breaks the rules of Sonic, Carver. That breaks the rules of Sonic. The rings are my lifeline. Why am I getting one hit when I have 16 rings? So, and again, even after learning his pattern with the web net and everything, he somehow always got me. I hit him at one point, at least like his second form. And there's one part where he actually smashes down on the bridge and makes everything collapse. But I figured that out as well. I hit him at least 6 or 7 times and he was still alive. I don't even know how many hits it takes, like 8 or 10? I don't know. So, first off, I should be able to, after beating the first part, I think the checkpoint should be on his second form. Because the game actually slows down and freezes for a bit just to freaking load up the second boss form, which is ridiculous. So that should be like, I should be able to start from there and not start all the way from this first part right here. This was miserable. Dude, I at least, the second form, the last time I at least hit him like, come on, hell. I at least hit him like 4 or 5 times at least last time. And that wasn't enough. So, this Fang guy, yeah, I didn't even finish the game, but apparently there's a black dragon. I don't know if I'll ever see it. I still wasn't able to transform. So, in my honest opinion, I know this video is long, but like I said, get your food. This Fang the Hunter, and I said it's not kid friendly because it's not. I didn't struggle with anything like this as a kid playing the original games. There's no way. And there's no way. It's not kid friendly. It's just going to cause the kids like a bunch of anger, which they don't need to be, and all that crap. So he's not difficult. He just he's not difficult. It's a repetitive pattern that you have to go through. It takes a long time. I've already told you, 5 to 6 minutes just to go through the first form. Over and over and over. I played for 2 hours. Just to get through the first form, to do that over and over and over. It's repetitive. It's boring. It's disappointing. So, it then get to the second form. Again, more repeated patterns. And even after I've gotten the pattern down, it's like I'm doing well. Somehow, he either catches me in that stupid spiderweb net, or I still get hit by his, like I said, his, what's the little cork thing at the top of a wine bottle, right? I still get hit somehow. Even the first form, sometimes it was like it was frustrating. I was still getting hit by things. I had to redo it all over. I'm done. And now I'm going to bring it back to why I mentioned how I missed out on a whole decade of Sonic games. And this is a question. Because personally, I'm going to say that now, I haven't played the Black Dragon. Apparently, there's a Black Dragon. I'll never see it. And I don't want to look it up. I don't want to see any spoilers because I want to play it if I do. If I do play it, I want to see it. And if I do go back, I have to play that entire level. You have to play an entire 2-part level. Well, at least the second part. It's Act 2. So you have to play the Act 2, which is where you go reverse. It's the time reverse level, which is difficult. Had to go through all that again in order to play this Fang the Hunter, the final boss. And you do see Fang earlier in the stage, actually. You see him earlier in the game. This might be it, the mysterious girl who transformed. This is Fang earlier in the game here, see? He's just flying around that little ship. This was Fang earlier in the game. I was playing with Sonic. That's him on that little freezer pod or whatever, his little bike. So what's next? And then, look. This is where Trip, and I was like, who is this? Who is this? Watch this. Oh, let me move it over, because I don't know if you can see it. This camera's... There you go. Who is this? She has the emeralds. A golden dragon. And I still don't know who she is. She used the 7 chaos emeralds and transformed into a dragon. A golden dragon. Going to outer space now, right? And then she flew through it, blew it up. She destroyed it. Well, there you go. But that was Fang back then. I did not expect him to turn into what he does later on. He's the final secret boss, but apparently there's a black dragon, which is the final secret boss. So, and basically what I'm saying is like, in my opinion, uh, clear it up. In my opinion, Fang the Hunter, that was the worst boss battle in any of the Sonic games that I've ever played. The worst. He's not difficult, but he's complicated and has cheap attacks, one hit attacks. So my question is, has anyone played a worse boss in the Sonic games over the years? 'Cause I'm pretty sure you've all played more than I have, since I missed out on that sort of decade of it. Is there a worse boss in other Sonic games? Is there a more boring boss, more disappointing, like a more repetitive boss than he is? Like, let me know, because in my opinion, Fang the Hunter is the worst boss in a Sonic video game. One of the worst boss battles that I played in a video game, in all video games. Hands down, has to be. I don't understand it. But that's why I wanted to do a review on this game. Like, so with all that being said, so that's Fang the Hunter. I never beat him. So I'm not saying the Black Dragon. I couldn't figure out how to transform. Played him for hours. So, all that being said, what do I think about the game? What score do I give it? The original base game with Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. The first time I played through it, I would have given it a 6 out of 10. For the nostalgia factor, or whatever you want to call it. Just the hey, it's like the original game, right? They're bringing it back. A new generation of kids can see that. I would have given that 6 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10. After playing through the Trip story and playing against all these bosses, and especially this Fang the Hunter guy, I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. Maybe a 4 out of 10. That's being generous, but a 3 out of 10 is what I give this game. So there you go. That's all I have. Thanks for watching.